Well, hello everyone. I'm Dr. Stock, and this video is for entertainment purposes only. Today, I'm having kind of a weird hair day, but besides that, I guess that's not something you're here for. I do have three stocks that I want to talk about. Let me see. One is brand new to the channel because I think it's an interesting time, and I'm going to call it a make or break opportunity for the stock price, at least in the near term. And it's one that has some good price targets on it, but we need to understand the nature of those price targets and why they are as high as they are and why they're promising such massive upside potential from where it's at. I got another one that I talked about on this channel before. I think it's time for an update on that one. I honestly think it's going to have some pretty terrible price action, at least at first, but I think that's going to set up a decent opportunity for us. So I want to share that with you as well. And then finally, we have one that has seen lots of features on this channel, and one that I continue to be bullish on, and one that I also think is going to cause us to see some really good price action moving forward from here. So for me, maybe it's a time where I want to put a little bit more consideration into further dollar cost averaging, before the month of September really passes. So I'm going to share those things with you throughout this video. So thanks for sticking around, and let's get ready to rock. All right, welcome back. For those of you who are interested, down in the description, you can check out my link to the Patreon, where you can go over there and see the different things that I have to offer. I have my growth portfolio, my dividend portfolio, and then I'm working on putting out my crypto portfolio that's out there. It's definitely one of the smaller ones because I left crypto for a long time, and I probably got back into it a little bit later than I should have. But once my attention was drawn back to it, especially during that most recent sell-off, I saw my opportunity to jump back in and really take advantage of the movement that we saw there. So that's doing pretty well, and I think it's going to start doing astoundingly well. So you can see the different things that I have in my crypto portfolio as well. I plan to release that this week in the Patreon. So like I said, if you want to check that out, you can go there. And the community that I have over there, they are passionate, interested people that are looking for the best investment opportunities possible, and they're willing to share their ideas and hear the ideas that I have, and we just talk about that all the time. So we'd absolutely love to have you over there if you're one of those kind of people. So moving on from that, referral links are down there from Moomoo and Weeble. Deposit. Geez, I had the order wrong. Sign up, deposit, and then you get your free stocks, and then I also get free stocks for the referrals. So thank you very much. I want to move on from that. Like button. Tap it, subscribe button, hit it so you can see anytime my videos come out, and notification bell to notify you when those videos come out. Because like I said, some of them are time sensitive, and then some of them are a little bit more lasting when you're watching them, because it really depends on the time frame and the opportunities that are given. Today is a little bit more time sensitive, and I think that you'll want to continue watching through today to see what we have coming up this week or even over this month, depending on which stock it is that we're looking at. All right, that's enough of that. Let's get on to the stocks. All right, so this first stock that we're looking at, this is Cardiff Oncology, and you can see they were up at $25 per share at one point in time, and they have just drastically sold off. And this is very typical of what we get with biotech. We get huge run-ups, we get these volume spikes like you see back over here, and then nothing, and it just kind of fades into, what do I want to call it? Fades into irrelevance almost. So recently we had a run-up in price, and there is good reason for this run-up in price. So we've had kind of mixed results so far with their drug candidate that they have for treating colorectal cancer. So they have in their one study that they're reporting on Wednesday, September the 8th, we find out about that. When they do report on that, I believe it's between 4 and 5 p.m. that presentation comes out. So it will be in the aftermarket hours. That news of that coming out, that's what's causing this little price action that we see here. This is people anticipating, trying to get in early on that next big biotech jump. And I don't do a lot with biotech companies because you get really rampant run-ups in price and then really rampant sell-offs, and the price action is just crazy on them, and then they don't do anything for a long time. So for this one, they are paired up with Bristol Myers Squibb with the current standard of care that they have, this current standard of treatment that they have for treating people with colorectal cancer. And they're also putting on, I believe it's their, it's an inhibitor technology that it takes one of the chemicals or whatever that's in the cells, and it inhibits the release of it, and that's for the tumor cells, I should say. So it keeps them from being able to go through mitosis, to go through cellular reproduction in order to create a tumor growth. So that's the basics of what I know about it. Mostly this is about finance, about it being a possible catalyst. So we get this run up in price, and that's significant from where it was at, because it was just around $5 per share, and it's up about 50% from let me see, just the beginning of August until about now, and it peaks at around 750-ish. We'll call it the mid sevens. And should we get really good news coming out of this, it's the phase 1B and phase 2 clinical trials that they're in right now. And if we get really promising results, we could have a jump that would take us up to this 200-day moving average that we have up here, which is currently sitting in the high tens. So that would be an astounding jump. It would be a lot of excitement that you would get. However, we got to be careful for bad news, because bad news can really tank this thing. So really, you're looking to go one way or the other, that there's likely going to be some big movement in the after hours on Wednesday. So you're welcome to do your own read up and find out what you think about it. And there are strategies that you can take that would be able to take advantage of big moves in the market, especially for stocks like this one. And so whatever happens in those after hours, depending on how drastic it is something that you could continue to see the after effects of it even into the next trading day. So if this is Wednesday, September 8th in the after hours, then Thursday in the pre-market and in the regular trading hours of Thursday, you could see a reaction to whatever price action we have. So if it's not too strongly up, we could see continued upward price action. If it's not too strongly down, we could see continued sell-offs, so negative price action, so bearish action there. And so we'll just have to watch and see, and hopefully we get some really conclusive results. And let's hope that this is really a win in the cancer space. Like, money aside, like, this just has to be something that that needs to go away sooner than later. I lost an uncle a couple of years back to rectal cancer, and he battled with it for 9 years. And I had to watch him waste away over that time. And he was a very smiley, happy, healthy guy. And then he started getting sick. He got diagnosed, and then it was just 9 years of struggle after that before he lost his battle to it. So I hope that this is a win, separate from all the money. I hope that this is a win in the where colorectal cancer is involved. And moving on from there, back to the money. If it's not a win, because it could totally not be a win, this is one, like I said, it's a make or break opportunity. I think either way, we have a big move on Wednesday in the after hours for this company. So far, we had a little bit of disappointment, I believe, with their first results that they put out, but now we get another release of results coming out of the company from one of their major studies that they have going on. So keep this one on your radar. I want to move on from there. The next one is Coupang, CPNG, and this one's out of South Korea. This is like South Korea, Amazon, but to a much smaller extent at this point in time. And you can see it is having quite a bit of trouble trading even down below the 50-day simple moving average that we have here. It is finding support right around that $29 mark. However, we have their IPO lockup period expiring on Tuesday. So we could see right in the early pre-market time, so around 4 a.m. Eastern time, we could see an immediate drop in the price because of that lockup period expiring and expecting downward pressure. So we could get significant selling pressure that could push this stock down, another $1, $2. If it's really bad, $3. So a lot of that pressure going on. Now, that could create a buying opportunity, but we have to be careful because the trend is your friend. And the trend that we see right now with Coupang is that we're just getting significant sell-offs. And so far, we have yet to turn that on. We had a little bit of a rally before it dove off again, and now we're just waiting to find bottom. So right now, this is the first time since this new bottom that we actually started seeing it round off a little bit, and we could get another potential spiking sell-off with the IPO lockup period expiring. And like I said, we could get some of those initial investors selling off from the IPO time, causing that sell pressure, causing a drop in the share price. It could set up a decent swing trade. We got to be careful that it doesn't necessarily mean that we have a reversal coming yet. However, that we're de-risking all the time. So for me, I already have a position in this. So moving down along with that and dollar cost averaging on the way down is a nice way, if you are bullish on the company, to address it rather than trying to time the markets. And this is not financial advice. These are my own opinions and reflections. So please keep that in mind. If you check out the analyst estimates on this one, right now we have like a 50% upside to the average analyst estimate from the 10 analysts that are currently covering this stock. And should we get that significant sell-off, then we only increase that percentage of upside potential that we have. But we are waiting for that turnaround moment for Coupang to really start to push things up in the other direction for us. So for me, I might take a larger swing trade position depending on how big of a sell-off we get. and I'll post, if I do make that buy, I will post that in my Patreon in the Discord so that people know with my buy alert that I have bought that stock and what I expect to get from it. And you know, if we get pushed down significantly below, let's say we get pushed down to $25, you know, I could expect it to go up to $29 because that's about where we're finding support right now, which could turn into resistance for us if we're down below that value. So those are things to consider for Coupang when you look at it. So going down from 25 back up to 29, I'm not quite getting 20% out of it, but I also highly doubt that we're going to fall that 10% down to $23. That'd be a really significant fall from where we're at. So I could at least in the short term take advantage of that. And looking at those long-term price targets that we have, I think that this stock is one that has some long-term potential. Really, to know exactly where that's going to fall is we have to see how the company develops over time. They are doing very well in South Korea. One of the mitigating factors that they have is moving into other markets in other countries. So the foreign market and gaining market share where there's already established companies. You know, we'll keep on bringing up Amazon because Amazon's absolutely huge. Coupang trying to take hold in North America, for example, and trying to take on Amazon would be very, very difficult. So that is a rather significant headwind to watch for, and it could be something that would mitigate the upside. But like I said, I think that we're starting to get, even if you look down at the RSI with some of the momentum, we are tiptoeing on oversold territory, but we are still in the bearish territory. But look at that volume starting to pick up for Coupang recently. I think that people are starting to load up on these shares. I think tomorrow could be a very big volume day with some sell-off, and I think that some people will also be trying to pick up that deal. All right, I have one final company for you, and this one I think is much easier of a call with a much better outlook. And so this one is NIO, and NIO we saw recently had a bottom price of like $36. We'll just call it 36. It's using that. And it is starting to climb back out of here. It is currently sitting at resistance right between $40 and $41. So breaking over that would be a really good thing short term. And honestly, we could do it, but it might take a little bit longer to do that. In September, I actually have two things, maybe three things that I want to mention. One is that they have a record number of orders. The chip shortage is causing them to have trouble to fill them. So there is significant demand for NIO. So that isn't what's affecting their delivery numbers. It's the chip shortage that's affecting their delivery numbers. So we have to keep that in mind when we look at lackluster delivery numbers. And I pointed out in one of my last videos where I covered NIO that in order for them to hit their goals, and they've updated their guidance, the guidance that they gave us was downgraded from where it was at. I think they went down to 22,500 vehicles. Up to 23,500 vehicles is now the range that they're giving us for where they expect their number of deliveries to fall. So even if they do that, and I believe that they're giving us numbers that they're comfortable with hitting. So yeah, they downgraded their guidance. So a downward revision isn't always that great. However, it still means if they're going to fall in that range, even if they hit the low part of that range, it's a record-setting month for deliveries in the history of NIO, and that means it's also a record-setting quarter for deliveries in the history of NIO. So I think that between the record number of orders, the fact that they're expecting a record number of deliveries with a record-setting quarter, those are, I'm going to call those two things that we have. So orders and deliveries would be those two things. And then there's one more thing, and that other thing that we have that's coming up. Let me go to the news here. September the 23rd, it says in this headline here, NIO's Norway plan on track. EV maker to open first NIO house and announcement local ES8 pricing on September the 23rd. So that opening in Norway is NIO stepping into foreign markets. And Norway is a great place to take hold. And if they can show market dominance in Norway with their NIO vehicles, then we know that they have a really good product that there's other demand just outside of China for their vehicles. And I think if they continue that expansion throughout Europe, and if they can bring it over to the United States, that we really start to see a lot of sales. And I think they have a really quality product, and they are expected to grow rapidly, especially into 2022. The EV market, especially to take off in 2022, and the EV market is supposed to be incredible over the next decade. So these are all things to consider, and NIO is well positioned to move right along with that EV growth in the EV space. And that's why I want to bring them to you today, because I think that we will see continued upward price action for NIO through the month of September and even into that October the 1st date when we get that delivery news, that they will have record-setting numbers as long as they are within that guidance that they gave us most recently. Like I said, I think it's 22,500 vehicles at the low end. So as long as they're there or above, it's a record-setting quarter for deliveries, and it's also a record-setting month for deliveries. And also we can take a look at the demand for the orders and see, has that demand increased, has it stayed the same, or has it lowered? Those are all things that we want to watch for. And I just don't think that people can get enough NIO. And because people can't get enough NIO, then we're going to see continued growth here, especially growth with the EV sector as well. All right, so let me summarize. Bad hair or not, I'm going to summarize this for you. CRDF, Cardiff Oncology, they are a make or break play in the near term. And I don't do a lot of those. I just expect to see big price action either way for them, whether it's up or it's down. And then you can make your call with what you want to do from there. As always, these are all of your own calls. I'm just bringing you the information. So Coupang has the lockup expiry coming up. That's tomorrow on the trading day on Tuesday. And so as that expires, people can go ahead and the early investors can dump their shares that they couldn't sell before. They can dump those onto the open market, causing selling pressure, and then we get lower prices. So if that happens tomorrow for Coupang, that could be, could be an opportunity maker. And, we could see some significant downward price action there with a decent bounce from there. But keep in mind that trend that we have, they are still on a bearish trend, and we're still trying to find out where exactly that bottom price is. And I think that we're going to find it soon for Coupang before, and then, within the next quarter to 2 quarters, we could start to see things turn around for them as long as they continue to show growth and move very aggressively towards profitability. The longer it takes them to be profitable, the less we can really expect in return as investors in a company like Coupang. And then NIO, I think, is going to show us mid-40s at least by October the 1st, as long as they can really hit those delivery numbers and show that they are navigating their way through. And I think that they give us numbers that they can be confident about. So the fact that they reduced the top and bottom by, I think, like 1,000 vehicles or something like that from what they were projecting originally, I think is them sliding down into a comfort zone where they're like, we know that we can hit these numbers. And like I said, record number of deliveries. If they hit their targets, we got, record number of orders, record number of deliveries, and then finally the record-setting quarter for NIO. And then hopefully we get some good guidance for Q4 to close out 2021. And especially if they start talking 2022 guidance and we start to see that they have some really big numbers coming up there, that could be good for us as well. All right, so thank you guys for stopping by. If you like the things that I have to say, go ahead and check out the Patreon. My goodness. I'd absolutely love to see it over there. The community is expanding, and it's nice to see it expanding, and it's excellent to see the kind of people that we have over there. They are kind, they are bright, they are enthusiastic, and they are all there for the same reason, that they're trying to support each other on the way to financial freedom. So if you're one of those kind of people that likes and values those sorts of things, we'd absolutely love to see you over there. And you can see the other things that I have to offer that don't quite make it to YouTube. So hope you join us over there. Don't forget about the referral links. Moo allows you access to foreign markets, especially the Hang Seng, which is still down significantly, which means big buying opportunities over there for when we start to get some more recovery over in China. So that link is down there. Webull link is also down there. Sign up, deposit your money, get your free stocks from those companies, and then I get free stocks for referral. And last thing before I let you go, like button, subscribe button, notification bell, and tell your friends about this and help me grow the channel. The more support I see, the more support that I can return to all of you, and I hope that you enjoy my information. So thanks for rocking with me today. I'm going out of order again. I'm Dr. Stock. Thanks for rocking with me. Now go get that money.